Hello, treat all. What's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. How you doing, mate? I hope you're doing well. Genuinely do hope that, and welcome back to Chelsea News, of course, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's been said about Chelsea from around world footballing news media, giving you my thoughts on it, and as always, more importantly, asking for yours. Today, Gregor Kobel, the goalkeeper, apparently certain reports are suggesting we've made a bid for him. Is that silly? We're going to look at his stats. I'm going to ask you some questions, yeah? You watching this. There's also, apart from a little bit more, Chelsea could apparently cash in on Jadon Sancho, some stuff like that on goal.com. Silly season nonsense in Lampard being linked to Tottenham. Yeah, that'll send shivers down your spine, mate. A cold chill, a feverish so-and-so. And a little bit on Noni Madueke playing as a left winger, because I genuinely think I haven't spent enough time on that, about how it could be a solution for our goal-scoring winger, who actually looked like he might have a right foot, despite what we all expected and thought and assumed prior. So welcome, sit down, get comfortable, pour yourself a drink, baby girl, or my friend, or however you want me to address you. Yeah, man, thanks for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content, as always. I really do appreciate it, actually. Just taking a millisecond out of your existence to drop a like on the video. And if you do find yourself returning to these pieces of content and you're not subscribed, why don't you just subscribe, eh? Just do it. Come on. We're slowly, dripping towards 200,000 subscribers. So thank you for doing that. If you do, everyone's welcome. If you choose to subscribe, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell. I haven't got it, man. Hey, Thievery. Let's go. All right, where do we start? Just quickly, this is silly season nonsense, but it is around headlines. And because of that... Oh, it's got ads, so I can't screenshot this. Look, on the Sport Bible, they're talking about it. Spurs targeting shock name to succeed Ange Postecoglou. Tottenham Hotspur chairman Daniel Levy could be set to make a highly controversial appointment. Look, I'm not going to read this, a spoiler. It's nonsense. It's saying Frank Lampard, who of course is having a great time at Coventry. What Frank Lampard does do, Derby, Chelsea, Everton, and indeed now Coventry, he cultivates a connection with the fan base. Something that Ange is not doing. And sorry, I'm just making myself more in focus. So I will be a square head for about another 10 seconds. Some serious Roblox mind. There we go. Ange just cups his ear to the fans rather than trying to get him on side. Look, Lampard said with great conviction, I will never manage Spurs. Because obviously, remember, Jose Mourinho said I'd never manage Spurs. And then he went to go manage Spurs, which for me... I love Mourinho for what he did for my club. I love him as a character in the beautiful game. He's a great character in the great theatre of football. But yeah, he absolutely did himself damage to the Chelsea legacy when saying I would never manage Tottenham and then just running off to manage Tottenham. Strike two would be Frank Lampard. He's not going to do it. He laughed when asked the question. He went, absolutely not. Even with how tempting it would be with a high profile of job, that stadium... those training grounds, he would not do it. Let's move on. Okay. So, again, riddle of an ad, so I can't screen share. But Goal.com is writing about Chelsea could cash in on Man United loanee Jadon Sancho immediately, of course, as we are trying to get Jamie Gittins. Now, a while ago, Jamie Gittins, who was the young English left winger for Borussia Dortmund, early doors... He was quoted as an €100 million player price tag. This was reported by Sky Germany's Plettenberg, and that was a while ago. And now he's a little bit more out of favour. That is literally been cut in half to €50 million, which is just over £42 million. Of course, we reacted to this story yesterday or the day before. We looked at his stats. He's got insane dribbling stats, actually. Like, really, really impressive. I would be fine with him. to be honest. Like, I'd prefer him over Garnacho, who we've been heavily linked with. Nico Williams would be great, but I'm not sure we could get him. And this season, if you look at... Go watch the video if you haven't watched my video on Gittins, because his overperformance of expected goals this season is really promising, showing you that he's a great finisher. Anyway, there's a suggestion: Chelsea buy Jadon Sancho, 25 million quid, and sell him immediately to Dortmund, with Jadon agreeing to go back to Dortmund, because that's what the streets are saying. That if he'd like to stay at Chelsea, I wouldn't mind him staying at Chelsea if the conditions were right. But he himself, if he can't stay at Chelsea, yeah, get me back to Dortmund, because that's kind of like his spiritual footballing home of good performances. So, to Borussia Dortmund, Jadon Sancho should be worth at least £25 million. Remember, only 2 or 3 years ago, they sold him to Man United for £75 million. So they'll be getting him back in his prime for a third of the price. I mean, come on. It makes sense, especially if they're going to sell Gittins to Chelsea for 42 million, and then we part exchange Jadon for maybe a little bit of prof, 30 million. Yeah, I mean, nothing really ever works like that, but 2 deals, surely a deal can be done. Yeah? Yes? Let me know what you think, but do we have another left winger on our hands? Let's talk about that. Look, Noni Madueke, for me, was the quintessential I'm a right winger and nothing else. I often use Bukayo Saka as like an example of that. Of course, Bukayo Saka had sort of played left wing back before. And the game against Everton, in a way, Noni Madueke kind of did play left wing back. This is his stats here, because when he plays right winger, he's like here. You see that dark red bit here? It's like here when he plays right winger for Chelsea. So he was playing a bit deeper, but bro was direct, I must say, yeah? So he played best part of 80 minutes. He got a third of an expected goal, which is kind of fine. 80% passing, which is fine. This is bad. So he got 0 out of 5 crosses. That's because... I was going to say, but he's inverting right, so that's no excuse, actually, because if he's a left footer playing on the left, you should, like, that's an old school prem, isn't it? Like, you know, the wingers of old, like Ryan Giggs and stuff, you know, you should be able to put with your stronger foot balls in. So 0 out of 5 don't make much sense to me, because usually, maybe he's just forgotten how to do it because he's so used to cutting inside. But long balls, he did make a couple. He did have 4 shots on target, and a couple of them were really venomous on his weaker foot. 4 out of 6 dribbles, yeah, which actually is really good to complete 4 dribbles in the game, especially on the other side, which is obviously doing something differently to him. Like he's thinking like a right winger, like an inverting right winger, but on the left. So it's kind of messing with the opposition defenders' heads and opening new pockets of space to that for him. And maybe he's surprising himself slightly, because it's like, you know, he's not completely flopping out of position. It's like everyone, including Noni, is surprised at what's going on here. And what's really impressive as well, he won a vast majority of his ground duels. But just the fact how he was getting these like venomous shots off on his weaker foot, and then obviously, should he get the opportunity on his strong left, he could lash him across goal. I must say, I didn't hate it, because what we have been seeing is Noni on his preferred right wing, of course, because he was scoring some goals this season, and Neto playing out of position. Neto just being the slightly more experienced and older player, and has played in right wing, left wing, up front, false 9, probably as a number 10, like, you know, a little bit more experience, you know, so you sort of play him out of position. But actually, it might make sense after that wonder goal to just be like, right, Neto, play where you're comfortable, and Noni, let's spice things up here, yeah? See how you're feeling. See how you're feeling at left wing. Let me know what you think. Let's keep this baby going. What then? Goalkeeper. In the wake of what can only be described as an excellent Rob Sanchez performance, who of course won player of the match, 2 amazing saves, late saves against Everton, we are, of course, being linked with goalkeepers. Now, before I get into this, Chelsea have 2 goalkeepers joining in the summer that we already own, like returning. One is Georgi Petrovic, who's been excellent for Strasbourg on loan, and one is the second coming of what's his name? Thibaut Courtois, who got slapped up in the Copa del Rey final. And by the way, guys, moment to say, if you haven't subscribed to the second channel, Football Yannick, it's down there, Football Yannick, go subscribe, check it out, because I reacted to an insane game with 3 red cards. Yeah, Courtois is amazing, but yeah, we've got Mike Penders, who's apparently going to be amazing, this young goalkeeper, like in terms of projection. But I've had enough of projection and potential. I want good. But does that mean, caught offside, Chelsea waiting on answer for 55 million transfer bid for Bundesliga star? So this is Gregor Kobel. I guess is it Kobel or Kobel? I'm going to say Kobel. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section. So 55 million euros. What's that? 48 million quid? That's significant money. Yeah. I mean, he is, I guess, a senior goalkeeper. But I, at first, was like, great. You know, he might be a big boy goalkeeper. You know, older than the children. Although saying that, Rob Sanchez is 27. So he is also 27, Gregor Kobel. And Dortmund have done pretty bad this season. So I was like, okay, senior, maybe he's just a beast. He can, you know, show everyone what's up. And, you know, playing from the back and command the area and yada, yada, yada. So I went over to his scouting report on FBref. And here it is. So here are his strengths. And I must say, I think I've even looked at this before on the channel. It hasn't tickled any part of my body. The highest thing he's got here is the 87th percentile and compared to other goalkeepers in the last 365 days. Post-shot expected goals per shot on target, which I must say, I don't think any of us understand. And his passes attempted. But these are his strengths, yo. So, like, look at all the stuff he's weak at. Like, goal kicks. He's in the 11th percentile. Like, yeah, like... Save percentage, penalty kicks low. Okay, penalties, terrible at penalties. His save percentage is really, really bad. And these are his strengths on the scouting report. Now, if you go over to the goalkeeper we already own, in 25-year-old Georgi Petrovic, I think he's 25. Yeah, it's 25. And look at all these strengths, high percentile. His passes attempted, he's in the top 1%. Yeah, Maresca, you want a passing goalkeeper, bro. Look no further than this. Save percentage is his second highest strength. Then he's got this freaking one we don't understand, and it's much better than Kobel. This is your guy, Georgi Petrovic. No one's better at passing than him in Europe than Georgi Petrovic, and we're going to have a passing goalkeeper. How do we let this guy go? I mean, look, I don't want to... it could have been a really idiotic decision letting this guy go on loan, and maybe had his starting goal would be comfortably in the top 4. But what can't be disputed... Jesus, just not my desk. What can't be disputed is this has been a really good loan for him in terms of how he's performed developmentally, as an experience. He is a bit younger, he's 25, so after this you imagine he is going to be in his prime for like the next 6 years. He could be the guy. I mean, I don't know how many goals. I mean, Mike Penders might literally live up to, you know, whatever the data analysts and scouts. If Mike Penders really is that good and comes good, great. He's a Chelsea goalkeeper. Stick him in goal. We'll have him for the next decade, please. But when we're looking at these silly, massive goalkeeper bids for a guy who's getting absolutely blasted out of the water by Georgi Petrovic, I mean, these are really... I know we looked at his SofaScore like ratings, Petrovic, and they're just massively green. His form's insane. Like, Unless you're getting in a super name, throw the bag at a striker. Just put Georgi Petrovic in goal, because this Gregor Kobel, no, like, unless, look, I defer to you guys. If you watch loads of Bundesliga football and you look and you say to me, look, Jan, the stats don't do Gregor justice, he's a beast, he's a commander, he's a leader, then fine. I defer to your experience of watching this guy. But Dortmund have had a really underwhelming season, and this geezer's in goal, and his stats don't look very good at all. And a 55 million euro bid on him seems insane when he looks on paper much worse than Georgi Petrovic. So I look forward to reading your comments on that. So please do leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you again for supporting the content, for liking and subscribing. There is, of course, Football Therapy merch available should you want it. It should be available under this video here. You know, like garms and hats and all that kind of good stuff. Only if you want it, though. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you back here soon. Peace.